Hey guys, today we're making another very cool hook-only design created by Forrest Hook. This is his Petrichor bracelet. This is one of his easier hook-only designs, I would say, and it really doesn't take a long time to make either. So if you want to see any more of his really cool designs, I'm going to link his YouTube and Instagram to this video, so be sure to head over and check that out. For today, we're going to need about 248 bands. That includes 111 of the white, 83 of the green, and 54 of the blue. You do also want to grab one C-clip and a double-ended hook, and we can get started. So to get started, we're going to build the middle of the bracelet first, and we'll add these borders on later. This is what the piece is going to look like right now. I do normally like to have the color all one color where the blue is here, but for the tutorial and so you guys can see what I'm doing when I add the border, I'm going to alternate yellow and this olive green. The first color we're going to grab now is the white. If you do have a stitch marker or grab an extra C-clip, we're going to need it in a minute. So we're going to twist this first one on like a figure 8, creating our cat band. And that's what we're going to clip together. So I'm going to use this stitch marker that I have. And you're just going to clip it like that. Now we're going to pull one white through on each side. So we're going to pull this first one just through the first band and close it off. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Pull it through one and close it off. Now we're going to cross these two middle bands. So we're going to cross the left one over the right. And you want to make sure that it stays like that. We're now going to pull the middle through, which is the blue. We're going to pull this through the first 3. We're going to skip over the first and pick up the remaining 2 outside bands and then close it. We're going to rearrange so that the blue is the second band in. We're now going to pull one of the outside bands through. I'm going to use yellow for my first row. We're going to pull it through 3. Skip the first, pick up the remaining 2 bands, and close off the yellow. Once again, we're going to rearrange it so that that yellow is the second band in. And now we need to flip both of those yellows off the hook. So you're flipping the second and fourth. I do one at a time. I flip the second. Then I make sure that my yellow has some slack, and you flip that over as well. Slide it down because we need to do the same thing on the other side. So before we start adding it on, we do need to pick that white band back up. So pinch these 2 off, scoop that white up and get it back on your hook. Close it off and it should sit like that. I'm going to grab my yellow and we're going to repeat that process, pulling it through 3. Skip the first, pick up the remaining 2, and close. Rearrange so it's the second band in. And now we're going to flip that second band over the hook. And now we're going to flip the other side of that yellow, which was the 4th band, like that. So now we're going to start that process all over again. So we're going to grab 2 whites. We're going to pull that white through the first 2 and close it. Repeat on the other side. We're going to pull it through 2 and close it. Now we need to cross the 2 middles, so I just want to make sure I'm crossing it the same direction as I did before, which is the left over the right. Keep it like that, and we're going to pull the blue through now. That's going to go through the first 3. We're going to skip the first and pick up the remaining 2 and close it off. We're going to rearrange so that the blue is the second band. And now we're ready to start pulling the yellow bands through again. You can use the same color this time, but I'm going to switch to olive green. We're going to pull it through 3. We're going to skip the first, pick up the outside 2, and close it off. Rearrange it so it's the second band in. Now we're going to flip the second and 4th band over the hook. Like that. Slide it down so we can repeat it on the other side. So we have to scoop that white band up before we can pull that through. So we're going to pinch these off and scoop that up. It should look like that. And now we can go ahead and proceed pulling this through. We're going to pull it through 3. Skip the first, pick up the remaining 2, and close it off. Rearrange it so it's the second band. And now flip the second and fourth band over the hook. like that. So we're ready to repeat that all over again. So we're going to pull our white bands through the first two. We need to repeat for this other side. We're going to cross the two middles. So I'm going to cross my left over the right. We're going to pull our center blue through. Pull it through 3. Skip the first, pick up the outside 2. Rearrange the blue so it's the second band in. And now I'm going to go back to my first color, which is yellow right here. We're going to pull it through 3. Skip the first, pick up the outside 2. Rearrange it so it's the second band in. And now flip the second and fourth over the hook. Slide it down, turn it around. We're going to scoop up that white band to get it back on our hook. And now we can pull this through on this side. We're going to pull it through 3. Skip the first, pick up the outside 2. Close it off and rearrange it so it's the second band in. Now flip that second and fourth. Like that. Now for this design, you do need to make it approximately 1 inch bigger than you normally would because the borders do shrink it. I will put a timestamp if you need to keep repeating the process to create this part. Once you have your desired length, we're going to pull one more of our white bands through everything. And you're going to see clip that off temporarily so we can come back and add on the borders. Okay, so we're going to start adding our borders on now. I did take my stitch marker off if you want to do the same. You don't have to though. So we're going to start adding the borders. The first one, which is white, I like to match to the center. The outer border, I like to match to that very center, which I used there. So I'm going to use white and then blue. So this first one is a little tricky, so I am going to have you prep one thing. We're going to come over on the right side and we're going to pick up the second and third stitch, like that. We're going to pull that first band through the second and pull on it. Take your hook out and leave it just like that. It should not go anywhere. Now we're going to come down to the first stitch and we're going to put our hook through. Just that first one like that. Grab your first band. We're going to pull it through this loop and close it off. I'm going to have you do the second step a little differently just to make sure you don't lose this band because it is very loose. So we're going to pull our second color through both loops, skip over the first, pick up the second, close it off, rearrange it so that the blue is the second band in like that. Now that we have that blue nice and bent, we're going to slide our hook out carefully and you're going to scoop that white up and get it back on your hook. Once you get it back on your hook, push it back through the other two so it goes back through all of them and hold on to that blue because that blue is not secure, it will pop out. We're now going to pick up that band that I just had you fix a minute ago and get that on your hook. We're going to grab our white and blue again so that we're ready. We're going to grab the first one first, so that's white for me, and we're going to pull this through the first 4. We're going to skip over the first, pick up the second, which is that blue, and close it. It's secure now, so it's not going to go anywhere. It's going to get easier from there. That first one was just a little tricky because that blue was so loose. But now we're going to pull our second one through, which is my blue, and we're going to pull it through 4. We're going to skip the first, pick up the second, skip the third, pick up the fourth, close it off, and rearrange so the blue is the second one in. It should look like that. So we're going to do that again. And this is where you're going to see the repeat of the pattern. So we need to grab the next 2 stitches over here from our piece. This stitch closest to your hook does not count because we already have a green one going through that. So don't grab that one. Come up to the next 2 that have nothing going through them. Pick them both up. Once you have them on your hook, you're going to pull the first one through the second one, like that. Now we will continue pulling our white and blue through. We will keep pulling those 2 through. So I'll grab my white first. We're going to pull this through the first 4. We're going to skip over the first, pick up the second, close it off. Grab your second color, so my blue. And we're going to pull it through all 4. We're going to skip the first, pick up the second, skip the third, pick up the fourth, and close. Rearrange it so it's the second band in, and it should look like that. We're going to start that all over again, so we're going to come over to our piece. We need to pick up the next 2 loose stitches, so it's not this one closest to your hook. You can already see that band is going through that one. So pick up the next 2. Should look like that. We're going to pull the first one through the second. And now we're going to continue pulling our white and blue through. I'll start with my white. We're going to pull it through 4. Skip the first, pick up the second. Close it off. Now we pull our second color through all 4. We're going to pick up just the second and the fourth. Close it and rearrange so it's the second band in. Come up to your 2 next loose stitches. Pull the first through the second. Pull your first color through. We're going to pull it through the first 4. We're going to pick up the second and close it. I'm going to pull my second color through, which is going to go through 4. We're going to pick up the second and fourth. Close it and rearrange. We keep alternating those 2 steps. So I'll pick up my next 2 loose ones. Pull the first through the second. We're going to pull the first, which is my white, through 4. Pick up the second and close it off. I'm going to grab my blue. Pull that through 4. Pick up the second and the fourth. Close it and rearrange. So you guys are actually going to have a lot more to do. I'm already at the top of my piece, but you're going to keep repeating those instructions until you get to the top and you have 1 loose stitch left. I'll put a timestamp in case you need to keep watching the instructions on how to do that part. So once you are at the top with that 1 stitch, we're just going to pick that up, get it back on your hook. We're going to not grab the first color, which is usually my white. We're going to grab our outer color, so that's my blue. We're going to pull it through everything on our hook and bring both ends together like that. Now we just need to include the 2 bands on our hook into the band that our C-clip is on. So just put your hook through both loops that the easy clip is going through. Remove the clip. You have 4 bands on your hook. We're going to pinch the first one to open it up. We're going to pull that first band through the 2 blues. Bring both ends together and C-clip that back off. So now you guys need to flip it over and do the exact same process on this side, adding your borders. I'm going to put my timestamp right here so you guys can go back and watch exactly how I did it on this side. It's the same exact process. So go ahead and follow those instructions and get this side all bordered up. And voila. So now I have both mine completed and you should as well. So I'm going to put my little piece to the side. But that is how you create this super cute Petrichor bracelet created by the talented Forest Hook. Don't forget to let them know what you think of this gorgeous hook-only design, and also tag both of us if you have the ability. We'd love to see your renditions of it. But that will be it for today, you guys. I thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next tutorial. Thanks, guys. Bye!